Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Hoop Love Y'all show. I am your host, Shay Rippinger. The Hoop Love Y'all is where we discuss health, humor, and hooping and give you tips and tricks to use today so you can try and share with your friends and all that kind of stuff. And we already have our first pet cameo of the moment because this is Kitty Capri and she's hungry standing right over her food. So in my little small office space here. So anyway, sweetie, you gotta get down for now. Okay, so the theme of today's show is smile, and that is to help prevent flow face. I was trying to think of a clever title, but I'm trying to come up with one word titles and stuff like that. The basic concept is to smile, and the reason is, of course, flow face. Now, what is flow face, you ask? I'm going to cover that in the hooping section, so I'm going to tease that right now, so you stay till the end. And it's a short show, so you don't have to worry about like using a lot of your time, but I really appreciate you being here. Whether you're watching live, type in the comments if you are, and where you're watching live from. And I'm broadcasting live on YouTube right now and Facebook. Hopefully they both work. I have to have the setup switched up a little bit because I had to change the technology a little bit. But anyway, we're discussing the flow face and smiling. So one of the things, so I bring up like a little health tip to help you out in your life. And it may be something you already know about or something you may need to be reminded about, or just like something, and when I say you need to be reminded, not that you need to be reminded of it, but that you just, oh yeah, I do know that. And I need to get back some of that in. So, so this is what that is for. Man, the cat is like really wanting to get in the shot here. She really wants a kitty cameo. So this is little Kitty Capri. Okay, so today's health tip, since it's about the smiling today is the theme, is the vitamin D is the vitamin. So vitamin D, this is coming in a vitamin D3 format. Vitamin D is known as the sunshine vitamin because the skin uses cholesterol. There's a good use for cholesterol to help convert um, uh, the help convert to vitamin D. So the sun, so if you go out in the sunshine, you do get vitamin D naturally. Now, since if any of you have watched this show before, you might have known that last year that I went through skin cancer. So going out in the sun, and I wasn't a sun bunny before, I'm not a sun bunny now. But I do wear a lot more sunscreen. But a little bit of sun in safe doses is a good thing. So even though, after you get some cut out of your skin, a big football shape like this out of your arm and take out a third of your arm, you reconsider things a little bit. But anyway, there is the option of taking vitamin D and vitamins. So it's a good thing. And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up tonight, not for all the other benefits that it does, there's tons of benefits that vitamin D does, but one of it is it helps with your happiness. And this is what this show is all about, is your happiness and happy health and humor and hooping. So trying to get that in is a good thing. So and why that helps with happiness, it's a good antidepressant. So it's a good thing to put into a regimen of other things as well. So this is one thing to add to your repertoire of things that make you happy. So like Kitty being nutty. Silly kitty. And things that make you smile, things that make you laugh, things that bring you endorphins, things that because when you're happier, your cells act and function better. So all your body processes do better. And that's a good thing because that does help keep disease out. Stress, cortisol, all that stuff, when you let that build up, that helps hack at your immune system, which lets everything else in. So whether it be cancer or whatever the case may be, a weakened immune system is not a good thing. So vitamin D is one of those things that can help with that and help make your life a little bit brighter, lighter, all that kind of good stuff. So I use vitamin D in combination with other things, and this is just me personally. So I'm not a medical doctor, but I did, we did have a health food store before, so I do know about some of these things and learned a lot about these things, and I do try and keep up with and there's so much information out there. But anyway, just offer that out there for you. And so if you're having a down day or whatever, make sure, either get out in the sunshine, try and enjoy a little bit of sunshine if you can. This is also very important in the winter months as well, or the months where you have less light. So there are some places in the world that really have issues with that. So, and you may need to do more things like get the light that helps give you, brightness and lightness. I know for me personally, I just love having light and bright. So that I dig that. That helps me a lot. It helps me stay positive and motivated and all that kind of stuff. So, and getting things done as much as I can. So, but it's dark. That's a good excuse to not get it done. Anyway, alrighty. So moving along. So that's the little health tidbit that I have for you today. So I'm going to do a little laughter yoga exercise with you. And I'm going to just cheat and jump ahead to what flow face is, because we're going to use flow face in our laughter yoga exercise. So flow face is the weird expressions that you can get while flowing. It could be with a prop. So, if you watched this show before, or, of flow artists, circus performers, it doesn't have to necessarily be circus performers, just dancers. Hi, Vicky. So hearts out to everybody watching live. So, and type in, or say where you're from, where you're watching from, trying to address everything in the comments and stuff. It's really nice to have all my live viewers on. That's kind of fun. And whether you're watching live or on the replay, comment, where you're from, what your version of flow face is, and, or what you like to do for happiness and smiling and all that kind of good stuff. So, okay, so here comes the laughter yoga exercise. So you can do this with me. And what it is, laughter yoga is where it's a series of breathing exercises and stuff like that. And when I say series, I get real creative with the laughter yoga exercise. I'm a certified laughter yoga leader. And so I can, make stuff up. But anyway, this is one that I like that I've adapted to incorporate flow face and to incorporate the theme of the show, which is smile, to help avoid flow face. So flow face are those, and I think anybody can have flow face. It's when you're kind of in the zone and you have like a weird expression on your face, like you're really concentrating hard on something. And for us, for when you're a flow artist, you're spinning, you're hooping, you're doing whatever, and you have these weird like expressions on your face. That's what we call flow face. So anyway. Oh, Vicky's watching from Colorado. Cool. And I just heard there was a friend of mine who's just moving from New York to Idaho. So I'm very excited about that because I'm broadcasting from Idaho now. So I now moved from Colorado. Got lots of friends from there. So, all right. So back to the laughter yoga exercise. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with a flow face. So any like concentrated like image that you can think of to do with your face. It could be stern, it could be thinking, whatever your thinking face is. When you're in your head and you're not just like enjoying the moment, but you're just thinking. So I want you to take a deep breath in there, and then we're going to smile and laugh it out. And that's how we're going to get rid of the flow face. So we're going to just say, now try a different flow face. Inhale it in, and then laugh and smile it out. One more different flow face. Inhale it in, and then laugh it out. And smile. Okay, so we did that breath 3 times. We're supposed to be taking in a nice deep breath into the lungs and a nice big deep exhale out. Hopefully you feel a little bit lighter, brighter after that laughter yoga exercise. I do it 3 times. You could do it more if you like. Thanks for the hearts out. Appreciate that. And at the end of laughter yoga exercises, we take our hands together nice and big. You can do this with me, and we do this twice. We go very good, yay. Very good, yay. Oh, and I'm getting smiley faces and good reactions. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. So, all right. So that's the health. So we got the vitamin D is the recommendation. We got their laughter yoga exercise in. Now I'm going to give you a demonstration of flow face and how to smile through it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the little kitty down. She's going to take up a seat here. All right. Kitty cameo. Whoa. This is what I call bunny feet. Bunny feet, bunny feet, bunny feet, bunny feet, bunny feet. Love doing that to her. I don't know that she enjoys it as much as I do, but it's pretty darn funny. All right. So what we're going to do is a lot of times when we are, again, this it applies to more than just hooping. When you're concentrated on something and you're really thinking about it, you could be in the zone, but you're also in this funky, funny face where, and one of the reasons why we call it flow face is that's the ideal opportunity for one of your friends to take a photo, and it's the one that you probably don't like because you have your face is like just all scrunched up or doing something or looking really intense or whatever, and it's pretty funny. So even today when I was practicing, I'm trying to get a technical move of trying to get a ghosting isolation, for instance, and rather than smiling with it, I'm like, and really thinking about it. And instead, I could be smiling with this. So even if I kept this into a simple move of just even trying to get isolation around and getting a smile with it, it's A, much more enjoyable to watch, and B, way more fun. And C, it's one more thing to think about. And isn't that fun? So that's one of the reasons why we do have flow faces, because especially when you're trying to get into something, you're using all your brain cells for what you're doing. Like right now, I'm trying to talk and I'm trying to make uh, cohesive sentences while I do movements and try to make it interesting for the camera and try and remember to try and smile to get out of that flow face routine. So yeah, okay. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a little hooping trick with this. So this is a little, rather than the ghosting isolations is a little bit complicated, but I'm going to give you this one right here. So I'm going to twist, twist, twist. I like doing twist, and then you're coming together. So one of the concepts of the isolation of the, when you're doing a ghosting isolation is that you want to keep your hands symmetrical. So what with a ghosting isolation, and this is just a concept for any ghosting isolation, some tips and tricks is that A, you want to have your hands equal distance from each other on hoop. So and then B, you're going to have a working hand. So this is going to be my working hand is grabbing the hoop, and then I'm going to have a ghosting hand, and hence why they call it a ghosting isolation. But so, or a ghosting move. So we're just working on the ghosting part of this move. So where because I'm moving the hoop, so it's technically not an isolation. So this is a ghosting isolation where I'm trying to keep the hoop in space, and I'm also still trying to smile, but also you're keeping equal distance, but one hand is working. So what I mean by that is, for instance, if I'm like my top hand, which is my left hand at the moment, is at the top and it's gripping the hoop. My right hand is like, I call it a trophy hand. So I'm going to be using the top hand to move towards and actually move the hoop towards the other hand. So, and then by ghosting, I'm going to slide my non-working hand over, and then I can, again, try and keep it equidistant. You can flip it, twist it, do whatever you want with this. But that's part of a ghosting isolation. And again, as I'm thinking about this, I'm trying to remember to smile and all that stuff. So, but yeah, getting this ghosting isolation. Now I'm doing this with a turn and doing various variations with this. Now, right there, I did the bottom hand is working, and I'm flipping, and now the bottom hand was working again, top hand is working. So you can do all kinds of variations of this ghosting isolation, which is rather fun, and I do practice and play with that. There's a lot that goes on with ghosting isolations. When I first, or here's a funny story, when I first learned, I saw it at a flow jam at this where everybody's just kind of doing their thing, flowing, and every once in a while you can go, hey, that was a cool move, what is that? And it's not like where you're going to a workshop and you're learning all this stuff, so everybody is flowing, but what you're doing, so I asked, and it happened to be I'll say the name of one person, but I won't say the name of the other person because anyway, Nick Gazzardo, who's an amazing hooper, was doing this ghosting isolation, and this is way back in the day, and he was doing this, and this was really cool, and it was also with a bigger hoop too, so I didn't know that that was an issue as well. So if you're doing like a ghosting isolation with a bigger hoop, there's this point where you're crossed over, and if you have a big hoop, it's really tough to have a big hoop. But if you're doing ghosting isolation with a smaller hoop, it's a little easier to get, like, literally get a grip on. So, but anyway, I was doing this move, and Nick was starting to break this down to me, and another person who shall remain nameless, but she's a good, she's a good friend. But anyway, she came up and she's like, "You're not even ready for that one yet. You need to know all these other things to do before you even get to that one." And what she was trying to say was, you need to have your isolations clean first. You need to, have the concept of what an isolation is first, but also, have your one-handed and two-handed, so that, when you are, and then you have to have this, the hand structure going with this as well. So again, playing with these things now, I also encourage you to just play. I always encourage you guys to play. So playing with the hoop is a great way to find out things that you didn't know that you knew, or that you're trying, and just like discovering. And the funny thing is, you'll discover it and think it's the greatest move, and you have created this new original move, and you may have. But then you may get on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, the social media platform or whatever, and you may see it out there. And not only that, there's probably a name for it and a tutorial for it. So there's that. So that's happened to me before, where I came up with this fabulous move, and it turns out that not only was that I did not create that from scratch. In my own head, I had created that from scratch, but one of my mentors did a video like that had 10,000 views on it several years earlier. It's like before I even got into hooping. I'm like, well, then there you go. So not everything is all new, but I highly encourage you to keep flowing and trying and hooping and just jamming, because you can discover new things. And even if it's not a new move, you may figure out new ways into it, and it's a new move for you. It's kind of like when you go to the thrift store and you go, "Oh, that's a cute new outfit that you have on," and somebody says that, and then inevitably somebody says, "Oh, I just got this for $3 or whatever it is," and, "Oh, this old thing," and rather than just say thank you, but the point of it is, I call it, it's new to me. So I'm very excited about it. So like you buy a used car, which is a great thing to do, because when you drive a car off a lot, then it loses its value instantaneously because it's not new anymore. So anyway, but getting new to you moves is a really cool thing. I love the way the light works in here. It's kind of fun. So anyway, so that is the show for today. I hope you enjoyed the smiling, and I hope you incorporate that in your day, your evening, wherever you are in the world. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And comment in the comments. And also, if there's anything that you would like me to cover in the future shows, let me know. So this is, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but this is part of a 5-part series of hooping hacks. So smiling, how to get rid of flow face, is one of the hooping hacks. And then last week we did, how to get, the pretty hands. So get away from T-Rexing. So this is one of the things that, especially when you're a beginner hooper, but not just beginner hoopers are guilty of this. I watched a video today, and this gal was a phenomenal hooper. She was doing very highly technical moves. They were beautiful and brilliant. She had A, flow face, and B, the appendages are finished off. So what I mean by that is the lines are not great. And so it's not as interesting to watch. So, I mean, the moves are fabulous. No doubt there. No arguing with that whatsoever. But, when you're trying to do those highly technical moves, you forget that, if you're trying to do this on camera or whatever, it's like going, okay, I'm going to do this video and I'm going to have a paper bag over me at the same time. You don't see anything. So this is not only taking the paper bag off, but smiling and making it enjoyable and entertaining and what have you. So I encourage you to smile, get your vitamin D in, and do the laughter yoga exercise where we change the flow face to a happy face and a smiley face. So that will help get that. And the more you do something, the more it becomes a habit. So one of the things that I do work on in my flow practice is actually smiling, because, and here's an extra little tip too, videotape yourself every once in a while. So, and I don't care if it's dancing or singing or whatever, and try not to be so self-critical, but the whole point of it is you see things that you didn't know that you did well, and that you didn't know that you might have been doing, that you're like, I had no idea I was doing that. So anyway, I highly encourage you to do that. So thanks again for watching. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. So like and share, and if you haven't already, subscribed to the channel, and if you have a friend to subscribe to the channel, because I need to get some of my viewers up here, that would be lovely. I would greatly appreciate that. So sharing is caring, and I really care about you, hence why I bring you this show every week on Monday nights. And so again, thanks for being here. Rock on. Peace out, everybody. Bye.